sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Okay, so how did your week 3 grade assignment go? With the programming or the graded, the theory one? Hello?
It was good, sir.
Okay.
It was good, sir. Sir, there's one query, sir.
Yeah, okay. Which one?
Yeah, actually, in the assignment score tab, it's showing one score, but in the dashboard, the first screen is showing some other scores, sir. Actually, why there's a discrepancy between these two.
Yeah, can you do one thing? Can you post that in the discourse or can you send that to the?
Yeah, I sent the mail. I just wanted to check.
Okay. So
Yes,
yeah,
I
I think that could have been with everyone also, I guess. So you need not worry about it. Okay.
And one more thing, the assignment dates are for the fourth week was given as 23rd, sir. Actually,
Yeah, right.
we generally get a week, sir. Our previous one was on 16th. I'm sorry, on 17th, right? Wednesday, which is yesterday. Sorry,
19.
19th. Yeah, and within the same week, Sunday, we were getting the due date for the fourth week. So we're not having enough time to complete lessons. Generally, we get a week, right? So I just-
Yeah, right. So, but that is done for a different purposes. Like, see, there is this one exam which is going to happen on Sunday, right? So the next upcoming Sunday, so the 30th, right?
So that is on 30th. So
Yeah.
Sunday.
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
right. So to calculate for that they need to complete this grade assignment for quickly. Okay, like they need to have like 1 week time before. Okay, so for that the deadline was moved, and moreover, the week 4 content it was released like 10 days back or so, right? So it was released when it was released on last Friday. So it was released on 14th, the week 4 content. So you have like lots of time to still go through the content, right?
But
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
so for working professionals, it will be like bit difficult, sir.
What?
For working
Yeah.
people, it might be a bit difficult, sir. Actually, because we don't
So
get we hardly get any time.
Yeah. So I understand. So, but then I don't think if you have followed week 3 content properly, right? I don't think week 4 will be too much of a trouble for you guys. So I think week 4 content should be like okay, I guess. Okay. And moreover, what you can do is
Sir, can you please tell me what is the complexity level of this week 4?
week 4 it will be the same as week 3, right? So, but the thing is, in this week 4, you don't be learning about lists. Okay.
Yeah.
So the list, it will be learning only about that. So that should be fairly okay, I guess, because whatever you learn from previous week, right, the for loop, while loop, the if and all those we'll be doing it here. But the only thing is, we'll be using the lists here. Like you'll understand clearly if you go through the lectures. Okay, the purpose of the list. Okay, and how that will be kind of like helpful for you. Okay.
Actually, week 4 was mostly list, all about list, and in addition to sorting and matrices, dot product like this.
Yeah, so all those the matrices, dot products and all, they were like part of the list, right? So it is like the matrices is like how you define the matrices using this, right? And if you talk about dot products, so that is kind of like just one operation you do using the list. So which I'll be explaining in this session. Okay, so you need not worry about all that. So it's not like you'll be learning matrices like you do in mathematics. The only thing here is that you'll be it's like how you define matrices in Python. So you know that a matrix will have some, let's say like m by n, right, dimensions, right, m rows and n columns, right? How do you define a matrix in Python, right? So and how do you perform some operations like dot product, which you were talking about? Okay, so all that we'll be doing in week 4. Okay, so it's not difficult, I would say. Okay, because the only extra thing you learn in week 4 is about this. Okay, and how do you apply those risks for matrices and doing some operations on matrices. Okay, so the matrices is just part of it, and that's not even the difficult part also. Okay.
So there's one query regarding the graded things that we did in past weeks. So the thing in the like those questions which we were like, at least for me, I wasn't able to even attempt those, like. So will we get any session for that, like a solution or something?
The solution code it'll already like not for theory assignment, but for the but for
coding assignment, it's already there in the portal.
yeah, it is there in the portal, and even for graded also you'll be able to see the feedback.
Sir, regarding the exam on 30th, it will be similar to till what list it has been covered with.
So the exam on 30th, it is theory exam. Okay. So it's like and that's going to be similar to the grade assignments. Okay, the difficulty level which you're seeing in grade assignments theory, and maybe a bit higher than that. So that is just because it will not just contain 1 week content, right? It contains 4 weeks of content. So that's why it might be a bit difficult. Okay, that's it.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any solution code for GRPA?
Yes, the solution code will be available to you once the deadline is over. So you should be able to see the solution code for week 3 too.
So for week 3, the deadline is over, but the solution code has not been uploaded yet.
No,
For
it
me,
will automatically be available there.
For
I
me,
have a
it's there
query.
also.
Are PPAs also graded this time?
No, the PPS are not graded. Only the GRPS and the grade assignment will be graded.
Okay.
In the tab in GRPA, somewhere down the line, I have seen something like called absent. I didn't understand what this absent is like. Or do we lose some marks if we are not present, or what is it actually?
What option are you talking about?
It says something like absent against. Let me look at the dashboard actually. I click on my current courses and then I click on programming in Python. So it says for week 1 GRPA 6 till 6 it is giving some marks, till week 2 GRPA 2 till week 2 GRPA 2 it gives me the marks. But for GRPA 3, 4 and 5 of week 2 it is saying absent. I don't understand what is absent there.
So did you attempt that question? Did you attempt these questions?
So some of these GRPA I think I didn't attempt. So
see, if you would have attempted, it would not have shown as absent, I guess. But yeah, this is like new to me, like what I'm hearing. So yeah, let me check. Okay.
So
you're talking about in the score section, is it?
Yes, sir. If you click on the My Current Courses tab, right, we have a first dashboard, My Dashboard, wherein we have links against My Current Courses. If you click, you'll see all those which you have registered. So we'll have My Programming in Python, so which is actually shows the dashboard. There, so you can see the marks there also, right? First assignment, second assignment, and all. Along with it, it is showing the list of marks for GRPA, all the GRPAs, 1, 2, 3, whatever, week 1, week 2, no? But I am seeing that for the week 2, last 3, 4, and 5, GRPA 3, 4, and 5, it's saying absent. So I'm not sure why it is saying absent, or do we lose marks, or what is the logic or calculation of that?
Like the option just means that I think you did not submit, I guess. Okay,
Yeah, that's what, as I
but
was saying, maybe I didn't submit.
yeah,
I
so
couldn't
like
submit that.
you would not lose like extra marks. Like it's like you'll be getting just 0 marks for those questions.
Okay. And in that case, yeah, okay, got it, because it's graded, we get 0. But will it affect? We also have the graded assignment as such. Apart from GRPA, we have a graded assignment, right? So, which of them will have more weightage or?
Both will have the equal weightage.
Okay, thank you.
Now can we start with
Can you?
GRPA,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we'll start the session. So we'll discuss week 4 now.
Sir,
Okay.
can you once tell regarding the online exam of Python which we have?
Yes,
right
sir.
now?
Just brief us how you are supposed to give.
Yeah, you need not worry about it. So I got a couple of questions regarding that. So one was, is my wireless mouse allowed? So yeah, it is allowed. It is allowed in the online proctored exam. You need not worry about it. So the logistics part, what is required and what is not required, that it will be intimidated to you beforehand itself. Okay. So all I can say right now is you need a laptop. Okay. You need a laptop to attempt that exam, and then you need a mobile phone. Okay. And an active internet connection. So apart from that, like how exactly the exam is going to happen on all the procedure, that will be told to you beforehand itself, so that you can get prepared. So you need not worry about the online proctored exams as of now, because the exam that's going to happen on 30th is not online proctored. It is at the TCS, just like you wrote for other subjects. So as of now, you need not worry about it. But for the next programming quiz, it will be there. Okay. So before the exam, like 2 weeks before the exam itself, it will be implemented to like these are the requirements for this exam. Okay, you need not worry about it. Okay.
So
Sir, it will be.
laptop is compulsory, or desktop will also work?
I think desktop should also work. Yeah, desktop should also work.
Right, no, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, will it be held before quiz 1 or after quiz 1?
It will be after this one. So the exam that's going to happen on
18th
30th.
Feb, I guess. First proctored exam is on 18th Feb.
Yeah. So there is still lots of time.
Sir, one thing I would like to suggest: is it not necessary to give a demo of that for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so that everybody should be conversant in that? Because this is the first time we
Yeah,
are
there
exposed to
will
that.
be a session. So there will be a session.
Okay.
Where they'll be explaining you, where there'll be even a dummy exam, like
Yeah,
the mock
dummy exam, just like mock.
Yeah.
It will be there, no, sir?
Yeah, it will be there.
Okay, fine.
It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be there.
Thank
So
you.
you cannot worry about
That will solve all the problems, I think. So.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let us proceed.
Excuse me, sir. So, which software or app we are going to use during the exam?
Yeah, that part too, it will be told to you beforehand itself, so that you can install it. You need not worry about all that. Okay, as of now, it does not take too much of time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, what will be the weightage of it?
Which one? The programming exam?
Yes, sir.
So it will be the same. So you'll be having this 4 exams, right, in total. So each will have the equal weightage. So you can just follow that sheet just shared to you, like regarding this grading pattern and all.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, there will be 2
Do we get
quizzes.
any live session with Professor Sudarshan?
No. As of now, you might not get. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sir,
Yeah.
but last batch have done this.
Right. So that is because last term we had Professor Sudarshan as an instructor, but this time we have Professor Satyadev, okay, who is an instructor. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, there will be 2 online proctored exam and 2 quizzes and 1 end semester exam.
Yes.
So am I right?
Yeah, yeah. So there is a quiz one and there is this enzyme exam and 2 proctored quizzes. Correct.
So in February it is showing 16 or 17 both the dates. So they both are the shifts, and we'll going to have our exam only in one day, na?
Only on
Yeah. So you're going to have exam on only one day.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, one more thing, sir, one request, sir. This for this week for the time is too short for this assignment submission, sir. Only 3 days from the last week submission.
So
Today only we're starting for the.
Yeah, if you look at it from that way, then correct. But the thing is, we do not have an alternative for that. And moreover, week 4 content it was released on 14th on 14th of January. So you should be having lots of time. Like if you had gone through the content, right, you would be having like nearly 10 days or so to until the deadline, right? So from 14th until 23rd, you have the time. And the other thing is that the week four content it's not too difficult. The only thing is you'll be having lists. Okay, once you practice lists, it will be kind of easy for you. Okay, you need not put too much of effort to complete this week 4.
Okay, sir, we'll try.
Okay.
Thank you.
So shall we go ahead?
Yeah, can I just ask one quick question?
Yeah.
Hello?
So if it is regarding Python, yes, and not the.
No, I mean this is not regarding Python. You mentioned something about Professor Satyadev Nandkumar, I guess. Can you just explain that part? Like he will be taking classes or like live sessions? Can you just explain that bit a bit?
Yeah. So if required, the Professor Satyadev sir will be taking live session, but that's not guaranteed. Okay, and only if it's required, Professor Satyadev will be taking live session, and if he feels the need for it, then he'll be taking live sessions. That may be like after the quiz result, right? So based on that, like maybe we could take a call on that. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And sir, I joined late, so I just wanted to confirm that about quiz one. Sir, COVID cases are increasing drastically, so will quiz one be postponed or will it be on time only?
Yeah, sir, I have also same question.
Okay, as of now, we have no answer to that. So I don't think it is like the decision is made regarding the postponement. So as of now, the exam will be conducted as scheduled.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I have a question related to Python. Can I ask?
Regarding Python?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So in Python, for example, in case of a date of birth, we normally give DD, MM, Y, right? So in case of a date, for example, if we represent normally 06, 08, or
Sorry,
okay.
Mukherjee, sorry, can you just be a bit louder?
Yeah, can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, better.
Okay. So, for example, in date of birth format, DD, YY, MM, then YY, right? So in date, normally what we give is say 05, 06, 08, 1990, like that.
Yeah.
But in case of Python, if we like to accept that 06 in the front, then it gives an error message. So how to remove that means?
What if you use 06, it is giving an error message?
Yes.
So like you wrote the code on your own, is it?
Yes, earlier I tried in practice.
This is not regarding any question, right?
No, it's not regarding, and it's related to how to represent 06 or like that numeric values.
Okay, so you cannot represent that as a numeric value. You can represent that as a string. Okay.
Okay.
You should not be you cannot you cannot store that as 06, right? Because 06 number doesn't exist. Like it is basically 6, right? So yeah, you can only store that as a string. Okay. So like for the numerical purposes, for mathematical or like for operations, you can convert that to 6, and then like for displaying purposes or for accepting purposes, you can just have it as a string. Okay. Because ultimately Yeah. Ultimately, while displaying it is a system rate. Huh?
Okay, if you convert 06 to means integer value, it will be 6 only, right, sir?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir,
so
I have a question.
Huh.
Sir, is 0 didn't considered as a positive number in Python?
0 is not a positive number, right?
That's what I am asking. In graded assignment, I saw a question in which the answer might be 0, but I think they are not considering 0 as a positive number.
Which week are you talking about?
I think, sir, in graded assignment 3, there is a question in which we have to give the smallest number. What is the value of x for which x square plus 41x plus 41 is divisible by 41? So here it can be a 0. If we put 0, then the 0 term will become 0 and 41.
The thing is 0 is divisible by 0, right? 0 is divisible by any number, right?
No, sir, but the 41 part will left, and when we divide 41 by 41, then we get remainder as 0. Then 0 might be possible.
Okay, so it is regarding week 3, right?
Yes, graded assignment week 3.
Okay, so which question?
Let me give minutes, I will see.
Okay, so let me just share my screen and then you can point me. Okay, is it question number 6? It's question number 6 you're talking about? No?
Just a minute.
Which question? Which question?
So question 6 or 7, I think.
Yeah, so allow me a minute. I'm just
7.
I think it's in PS as practice assignment.
Oh, it's in the practice.
Yeah. This one, 6.
exactly this one.
See, they're just talking about is divisible by 41.
Yeah.
So 41 is obviously divisible by 41, right?
Yeah, sir. So if we put 0, it will be divisible, exactly divisible if the value of x is equals to 0, but it's showing answer as 40.
But 0 is not positive.
It's but that x is not a 0 is not a positive integer, right?
We cannot divide it by 0, no, sir.
So see, I'm just talking about, see, they just ask the smallest positive integer of x for which the expression is divisible by 41. So basically, this should be divisible by 41 and this x should be greater than 0. Like greater than 0 because it should be positive. Right? You should consider the first positive integer of x.
Yeah, sir. That's what I'm asking. 0 is not considered as a positive integer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, week 4 PPA 1.
Sir, one question I will like to ask. May I ask her?
Yeah. So before that,
how this IPython? How to install this IPython to execute the code one by one, line by line?
Can you repeat? IPython.
How to install IPython in our?
So that is just the Python notebook, right, which you're talking about. So to run line by line.
Yeah, is it possible, sir? No, we can do also, no?
Yeah. So there is lots of online IDEs which you can use to run line by line. So one is this. You can just use the
in Replit. We can do it.
In Replit, I'm not so sure.
Okay.
So there is this. No, you cannot do that.
It was recommended, so we are doing Replit. It is not possible. Okay.
So we can use Google Colab for that.
Yeah. So you can use Google Colab, or like you can use the
Google Colab will work.
I think
like
Anaconda is
Replit
the
only.
one. Anaconda.
No, it was not.
Because the two softwares language were Collab and Rapid. We are using this two only.
Yeah, so you can use Collab. Okay, actual Collab is
Collab is fine, right, sir?
Yeah.
We should do everything in Collab.
Jupyter Notebook also will work like that.
Yeah, Jupyter Notebook also works. Basically, they're both the same. The only thing is Jupyter Notebook is offline and the Collab is online one.
Okay.
Okay.
In fact, a PyCharm also we can use.
Yeah. So there are like lots of
But we have to choose one, sir. So what is because we are the beginner. We are not tested. We have not tested all the things. So just we are trying. Which should we opt? That everything which will be taught in this course, that will be covered in that.
It's not like that will be covered, right? It's like the same thing. The same things you can do across different IDs also. The only thing is you should be the one choosing which is like comfortable for you. I will say Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab.
I am compatible with this. Sir, I started, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, I started with this Replit, and I am comfortable with the Replit. Now Replit is not working with this IPython. Then I have to go to the Collab. Then another or more language is required for this or anything else.
The language is in the once you have gone to that Google Colab, right, then that's going to be sufficient enough. So
okay, fine. Okay,
yeah.
I will opt for Replit and Collab. Then
yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Let us proceed.
So is there any chance of increasing the deadline of week 4, sir? It's too early, 23rd.
No, sorry. As of now, there is no chance of increasing the deadline. Extending the deadline.
So can we start up with GRPA 1 week 4?
No, we cannot discuss week 4, right? Week 4, the deadline is like not yet complete. This is just an open session.
Sir, sorry, PPA.
Okay, PPA. Yeah, we will discuss PPAs once we are done with the discussion on week 4. Okay, like the concepts of week 4. Okay. Okay, so the first thing is, okay, shall we start discussing week 4?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We
Yes,
should start.
please.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, first thing is, why do we need lists? Like everyone knows that week 4 is. Others, mute yourself. Okay. Okay. So, why do we need the list? Can anyone tell me?
A single variable can store multiple values.
What?
Multiple similar, multiple values.
Variable can store multiple values.
Variables of the same property can be stored in a list.
Actually, list can
store different types of data structures.
Yeah, even different types of data types also can be stored, right? That is the first element can be integer, and the second element can be float, and third element can be a string in a list.
Yes.
But generally,
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
Sequential access. Forgetting the sequential access.
Okay. So it's like for accessing certain group of elements, I could say. You want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Others? Anything else?
A group of a batch of data that has something common with each other. So maybe we might want to store a group of IDs. So they're all IDs. So it will have some meaning to us. So we're storing it together.
Yeah. Others? Anything else?
We can easily compute the values just by changing the suffix with loops and all, which we cannot do with multiple variables together.
Sir, we can say that the value stored in a list is related with a positional value in the matrix. Position of the value is already defined by the list.
Yeah, position is depend. Yeah, correct.
Because
But
position
then,
is there. Na?
yeah,
At what
that's
position it is there, it will be taken out of that.
but
Yeah,
we can
list can be
we
stored
can,
to save different data types.
yeah, right.
List is mutable.
And that position can have any data types, anything, whatever you want to place at that position, it can be defined.
Correct.
As I
And
think
a
so.
single
The
variable.
participants in this Zoom meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, list is a ordered collection of any items, which can be any data type, and we can reassign the values. We can operate on them. We can uh, apply loops on them. So each kind of operation can be done on these. These kind of operations can be done on list.
Okay.
Like,
So yeah, correct. So basically, list is like collection of you could say collection of data, be it of like same data type or like different data types. The reason why we do that is we want to have the data to perform some operations to modify the list maybe, or maybe use the list for some other for some other purposes. Okay, we want to access all of them sequentially or like a particular index also. But then we want to have that so that we want to do some particular operations or achieve something which is of required type. Okay. So yeah. So this what.
Excuse
So
me,
to
sir.
access, yeah.
Sir, I have doubt in PPA too, and I think there's a small doubt here. Can I paste in chat box the PPA too, so that you
Like
can?
yeah, we will discuss that. We'll discuss that in like half an hour or so, I guess. So yeah, like you can just wait. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you paste it in the chat box, it'll be difficult for me to go through.
Yeah, let us do the concepts first.
Yeah. So you until now you know that there's a list, right? So the list is like it is a collection of it could be a collection of anything, right? So what is this nested list?
List inside a list. That means the element of a list itself is a list altogether. Like.
Yeah, correct. And why do we need the nested list?
because we might have some small groups of collection which we need to further operate on them.
Yeah, subgroups basically.
Subgroups.
Correct. Okay. So it's like you have a country, let's say India, and then like you have a states. So each state you can, and each state will further have divisions like districts or something. So maybe the districts alone. Yeah. So the district is the nested one, right?
Nested list can also reduce the execution time, I think so.
Can reduce what? Can
execution time of the program.
I know. So why did you say that? So how can the nested list reduce the execution time?
Suppose in the third nest, if the list is there, then only the third nest will be executed. Suppose thousands of lists are there in a list, and only one nested list is required for the execution of certain code, piece of code. Then only that list will be taken out for the execution. I think so.
Okay. So that is correct. But then if you wanna perform operation on a particular list within a list, so you could just define only that list, right? By eliminating all the remaining ones.
Yeah.
In this particular case, you need not even have a nested list. Like you're talking about you wanna operate on 5, 6, 7, let's say here, right?
Yeah.
You wanna operate on 5, 6, 7. What I'm saying is, instead of having it, you can just have it like.
Suppose there is a list of 100,000 lists, and there is a 500 lists in the list, and there are 400 lists in the list. Then the third step, we need only one list. Then we can take it out by just taking the positional value of that list, and we will operate on that.
Yeah. So basically, nested lists can be accessed very easily, like because if they have like a pattern or something, and then like and the thing is, the more what you said is correct. and the more better way of putting it is each of the subgroups are right. They are like similar or like because we were saying that similar data type is stored in list, right? Even this subgroup whatever we have within that list, that is of like one type, right? Like let's say we are like okay, we talked about India, right? India, whatever states we have, that will be the elements of the list, elements of India, right? Right.
Yeah.
But then within the state also you have like different districts, right? So all of those are elements of the list or elements of the state, right? So basically each state is also a list. We have a list of India where it contain each state, and each state is also a list, right? And what does this state list has? It has a districts,
Districts.
right? Even
Every
that districts
district
also, yeah,
also
even
have
the
a
district.
yeah.
It could further be defined as a list of mandals, I guess, right? So yeah, so as mandals you could just further define the list, and if you observe all of these are of like one type. So all the districts of Andhra Pradesh will fall into the Andhra Pradesh list, right? So all those districts are similar because they fall in the state of Andhra Pradesh, right? And then if you look at the states like the Karnataka, the Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, the Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and so on, right? So they all are similar because they all are part of states of India, right? Right. This is just a collection of data, but the thing is, we are just collecting a list of lists, right? We are initially we just had we just had a list where each element is like normal data type with an integer float or like the string. Okay, but it need not just be restricted to that. The each element of a list can be a list also. Like we have here 1, 2 is a list, 3, 4 is a list, and 5, 6, 7 is a list, right? And it could even be dictionary tuple or something else also. So all that thing you'll be learning later. But as of now, you all you need to understand is the elements of a list. It could be anything. Like it could be the list, dictionaries, or like the integer. Huh. Yeah, the Python. Yes, someone is asking about or something.
Can I ask a question while the other person is probably disconnected? Comes back. My question is more of on the operational side. Like here, when in the last couple of weeks, what we had seen that we are like some inputs are given, and we used to collect them in separate variables, right? Like variable 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's say when we have a very 4 or 5 or 6 inputs that's specified in the problem already that you're going to be given 5 inputs. So what is like a best practice or a good practice operationally to store it in separate, say 5 variables or in a list with 5 elements?
It's always better to store it in a list, right? Because let's say you are accepting the elements of a row, okay? You are accepting elements of a row. You know your row, right?
Got it. Yeah, understood. Yeah,
right.
Please.
So all those elements are similar, right? So why do you want to store that in a different variables, right? You can just have a list, and the list contains each element of a row, right? According to that particular order itself, that is the particular index itself, right?
Yeah, I got it. My question was actually, I should have made it clear. My bad. I should have. There's a in terms of homogeneity of data. I get it. Like there should be a list, but sometimes let's say first we're given a name or an age or something like that. Now, usually, how is it done? A list again for those if the data is not homogeneous. That is.
If the data is not homogeneous, even then also, if you want to have it as a list, you can have. Okay, I'll just explain it here, right? So we have this bikes, okay? We have like bikes, right? What we are doing is for each bike, we collecting the what do you say? The
engine
specification.
capacity types and all that. I get it.
Yeah, the specifications of the bike, right? So that's what you call, right? So the specifications is, the first one is maybe the engine capacity, and then the storage, and then the speed. Okay, so not the speed, the mileage, right? And after that you have this you have this type of it, type in the sense like what it is made of. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, please.
And
Yeah, fine.
then, okay, I'm not entirely sure what this is. This
CC,
is
this is
material cost.
CC.
Okay. So
CC,
that is a
capacity.
cost. Okay. So that is a cost, and then we have this manufacture date. This is the manufacture date. Okay. This is 2021 10/21. Okay. So we have this manufacture date. Everything is stored as a data, and then the specifications alone. The specifications alone, it is a list, because specifications won't be a particular value, right? Specifications, it has like different specifications, like the engine capacity, the fuel tank storage, or the mileage, and then we have different, I guess, the brake type and others, right? So all those fall under specifications. So if you observe here, each element itself like a different type. So the first one is a list. I'm talking about a sublist here. In the sublist of a particular bike, we have a specifications list. So that is like until here, and after that we have the material with which the bike is made of. So that is just a string, right? So the first element is a list, and the second element is a string, and the third element, which is this 1.2, that is again the cost, which is an float value. Okay, and then we had this manufacture date. This manufacture date in this particular scenario, it is stored as an integer. Okay, it could be mentioned as a string also, but in this particular case it is stored as a integer. If you could observe here, we have a list. We list as the first element, string as second element, and then we had this float, and at the end we have this integer. So why do we
first element is brand?
No,
what is this representing?
The first element is the specifications.
Okay.
The first element is the specifications.
No, the below line it is comparing with the material cost and manufacturing.
Okay, yeah.
But it is, I think it is not matching with that.
I think brand is missing in the first element.
Yeah. Now, now. Okay, that's why I'm.
Okay. So let's just have it like, okay, the first one is the brand itself.
Can you zoom a bit, please, sir? Zoom it a bit, please.
Okay, I'll just try. Is it better?
Then, sir, how this specification should be?
Yes, thank you.
In strings.
Okay. The first one is a string. The brand is a string. The specifications is a list.
Then they should be. It should not commensurating with this now. Specifications should be
200 cc 2 liter fuel tank.
Specification should be
strings, sir.
Sir, it is sequentially. It is not matching with the.
You do not.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, I think if I.
It is. It should be here. Yeah.
Now is it okay?
Sir, one more thing. Just let me know if I'm making this.
Now it is okay, sir.
The list, we started defining the list. First one is brand. I think that second square brace is not required, right?
This one?
No, not that, sir. Beginning, before Yamaha.
Now it is okay. Now
it is required. It is required because this entire thing falls under this entire thing is the first bike.
First bike. Oh, okay.
Now it is okay.
So, yeah, the list is the characteristics of different bikes, you could say. Okay. The first bike is of like Yamaha brand, and then it has like so and so specifications, so and so material, the cost, and then the manufacture date. And later we have this TVS bike, that particular specifications, and then the material and so on. Okay. So it is just like, if you could observe here, even though we are having elements of like different types, all these are similar, right? All these are required because they all define a particular bike, right? This date it defines the manufacture date of a particular bike, and this is the specifications of that same specific bike, right? So the specifications on this manufacture date, they all define the same bike, right? So that's why they need to be there in the same list. Okay. So is this like someone asked this question, right? Is the question answered?
Yeah, sir.
So what will be printed if we like print L0?
If you print L0, so it will print this entire thing. It will print the entire first element of a list. The first element of a list is a list. It is a
of
list
item number one. List of item number one.
Yeah.
And
so
if we just want to type, let's say get steel, if you want to just print out steel, what will be it?
Steel, right? So you want to get the steel is nothing but the
L of
material,
0
right?
of 3.
Yeah. So that too should be selecting bike also. If you're going for the first bike, so it is just L of 0 of 0
2
1 2. Yeah, it is L of 0 of 2.
0 2.
2 no 1 1.
No.
L01.
So the first
Because
is MR, right?
Yeah, first. No, sir. First
L of 0 of 2.
The first element is MR, the second element is the specifications.
Yeah, no, but
L
steel
of 0
sir,
L02.
Sir, steel is the first 0 1. Counting will start from the 0 1, sir.
See, it is 0. This one is the MI is the 0th element, and this is the first element, and steel is the second element, right?
Second element of the list. The second element means the counting will start from 0 1.
No, the third element of the list.
Third element of the list. It is third element of the list.
No, it is a second element, no? In the L0 and 2.
Element
L0,
is
2,
third
right?
and the index is 2.
L0 index is 2.
Index is 2. Right, na, sir?
Yeah. So that's
sir,
what
sir, for example, in case of 200cc, if I wanted to print this value, so I have to give L of 0, then 1, and then 0, right?
Yeah. So L of 0, 1 of 0, correct.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. So basically, you got this nested list, right? And you kind of understood like why we need the nested list and why we might require to store data, store in a list of like different data types in the same list. Why we need to have? You understood?
Sir, understood that part,
Yes.
but in this specification list, why aren't these things in a string? Like 200cc, 200cc fuel tank, this should be in strings, na?
Yeah. So that's just my part, my bad. Yeah, they're string of that.
Yes.
You could just think it as a string, or else
As a
what you can
number.
do is if you just remove CC.
Okay, got it, sir.
If you remove CC, that can be stored as an integer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
And even this fuel
operation.
tank also. Huh?
Yeah.
Even
So
this
40 km.
Yeah, even that also can be.
Sir, more the data will be structured. The operation will be easier for that, right? No, sir?
Yeah.
Suppose we have CC and we will take 200 as a data and CC as a string. Then the CC will also be unit also be displayed.
Yeah, right.
Right,
So,
no, sir?
Right. So this is just like how we store the data. Data is like entirely different.
Okay,
like,
sir. Okay,
based on the units, right? Sometimes you might need to have the CC also, because some units might have this kilometer per liter or like something like miles per liter or something.
Sir, I think we can retain some of these units, sir. Otherwise, later we will just know only as numbers.
Right. So all I'm saying is it's like it depends on the data. It depends on the data. And then like some more often it is not up to us, right? Sometimes what happens is the data is already defined and it will be given to you. Okay. You do not have a say of like, okay, I want to have it as I want to have it as an integer, or I want to have it as a string, right? So sometimes the data will be available, and you just need to perform some operations on it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Let us
So
proceed.
basically whatever it is, that is just small modifications is all. That's it. Okay. Okay.
Then the answer to the why do we need list is that because the program is so structured that we have to learn the nested list.
Yeah,
because
right.
that is the requirement of the program, how to store the data and how to read the data.
Right. So basically, if you just follow this order, right? If you need to have based on a particular index, right? Let's say you know that KTM due is at the index of let's say 5 or something. Okay.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure whether that's correct number or not, but if you know the index, right, then you can know the price of the KTM bike, right? By directly knowing that, okay, the price is at so and so index, right? So
Yes,
you can just directly gather the data, whichever element or like whichever characteristic of that bike, you can just readily get it by using this index. Okay, and then actually you can even
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sir, I have a small doubt. Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, that Yamaha section and its brands and its CC, that is the, sir, means that list is the first element of the list it is in right now.
Yeah. So I told you, right, for the list L, this entire highlighted portion will fall under the first list, and then this entire data falls in the second list, and this entire data.
No, sir. What he wants to say that the printed item 1, the output printed will be Yamaha 200 20 40, then
Yeah,
still
yeah,
10.
yeah.
Because the printed item, the output in the third line below should be Yamaha 220 40, steel 1.2 2021101, like that. What he wants to. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in this example, I have here it is shown that there are empty list also within a list. So in programming, can we do like that or?
See, this is kind of like real data. Okay, so what you can assume is for the data that is like given to you, it will have all the values that is already defined. There won't be any empty values or like empty strings. Okay. So this we can just assume that they are not even present. Okay.
Yeah.
Even for this KTM bike, there's no specifications, but you can assume that specifications are already there. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So I told you, right, the week 4 is like a simple one. The concept is that's all. Whatever I discussed, the list, and then the nested list. Okay. So if you go about how do you access the second element in the first element? So it is just L of 0 of 1, right?
So in case of a list, it is always access to index number, right, sir? If I want. Okay. And whether in the list also, for example, in case of a it is in the for example 0 1 2 like that, and can we backward, can we do the numbering also similar?
The indexing you're talking about 0 1 2?
Like that we can assign, right? Similarly, there is a I think I'm forgetting. I think in string it is a negative number in the last number -1 -2 like that we can give. In case of a list, can we assign in that way also, or in the only in the forward direction we can assign?
It can be accessed in the negative way also. Okay, from
negative also. And
yeah.
so and negative it will start with -1, right, sir? Last element will be -1 or how it will be?
The last element will be -1, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And this also follows the start-stop operations like we have seen in strings. Like,
so the operations will be different. The operations will be different because see, because the data the data is like different, right? See what string is like. String is a combination of characters, right? But here in list, like, that's not the case now. So the list, the operations that can be done on lists are like different. Okay, they're like wide variety of methods that can be done on lists. I will discuss.
Someone has to mute, sir. I think.
Yeah.
Sir, there is a sound. Please
Everyone.
Okay, so now it's fine. So you can perform some few operations. Are you able to see this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
yes, sir. My question
sir.
was that, like, for
Yes, sir.
instance, if you want to print the, say, last 2 or 3 elements in a list, like we do last 2 or 3 words in a characters in a string. So things like that.
Yeah. So you can use a for loop, right? So for I in range of last 2 elements, right?
Yeah.
So length of L. Finish to this.
So this Python Py, is it required to install?
No. This is just like I just named it like Python.py. It's not required. So that is just
it is a string.
strong name actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Clear? So in this way, you can print the last 2 elements. Right. See the operations, all this stuff, right? What I'm talking about is for I in range of you know the range function, and then you know how to give this integers, right? The start and the end one, right? So the only extra thing which you learned is how to represent this length. Sorry, the list elements, and then how you access it. You can just go to the for loop. Okay, and then there is this extra one. If you call this for I in L, right? For I in L, it directly takes the elements of the L. Just make it like for element in L. So basically, what does this for loop do is it initially for the first iteration it takes the element 1. It takes element will be equals 1. After that, it will be equal to 2, 3, 4 directly. You need not even go. You need not go to that for I in range of length of L and then like L of I. You need not go to all that has it. You can just directly do it. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, clear, right? So if you want to print it, want me to print it, I'll just print it. So it is just printing it directly 1, 2, 3, 4. If you observe here. Okay. And then if you want to square a number or something, just do it directly 1, 4, 9, 16. Right? Okay.
So,
Okay,
sir,
sir.
this loop we have to use this one for element in L if we want to access all elements of the list, or
Yeah,
if we want.
Right. If you just want to access the elements and you do not want to, you do not care about the index, right? Then you can use this.
And if we want specifically some elements, then we will use for I in range loop.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right, right. Those specific elements, if you want to know by indices, by index, then you need to use it for I in range of like the start and the end of that.
Okay, got it.
Sir, I have a question.
So one question here, is this element a special keyword?
No. See, this is just a variable, like how we are defining it.
Okay, sir.
I mentioned ELEM because it will be self-explanatory. Okay.
Sir. Okay, sir.
Because if I mention I, right, you might be thinking that I will be equals to the normal range one, right? Okay.
Sir, okay, sir.
All right. Okay, so
okay.
anything else?
Sir, I have a query.
Sir,
For example,
could you please explain rectangular matrix multiplication?
See, the rectangular matrix multiplication, that's like a very big step forward. Okay. Until now what I have discussed is only for the only what is list. Okay. How do you perform some basic operations in the list? Okay.
Okay.
And I did not even represent the national list here. Okay. So okay.
sir,
So before going to that rectangle, if possible, we'll try to do it. I want to discuss this nested list. Okay.
Okay.
So how do you access the nested list elements? Okay. So this is kind of like a square matrix, right? So
Yes,
each row it has 4 elements, and then okay, you could consider this as column. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a column. Okay, and then it has 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is first row, second row, and this one is third one, and this is the last one. Okay. So how do you access the elements in the list? So how do you do for I in range of length of L? Okay, this is by this you know the number of rows, right? The length of L gives the number of rows, correct? How do you know the number of columns? For J in range of length of L of 0. Okay, L of 0 is fine, right? Because I know that whatever length this first list has, the same will be the length for the other one. Okay, because this is a matrix. Okay.
I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
Can we not using two loops for? So can we do it like for I comma j in range length of L comma range in L length of L?
For I comma j, see that you cannot do. Okay, so for you to have that for I comma j, in, right? So the other one, right? It should be also a tuple. So that is like, okay, that is kind of like advanced. But as of now, you can just assume that.
No, sir, tuple I understand, sir. But what I'm saying is for I comma j in range length of L comma length of L should work, na?
See, the thing is, I do not think that works. If you want to try, I can try. I do not think it works. See, because the tuple should be a combination of just 2 elements. That range of L comma range of L, it will not give that, right?
Will it carry out for each value of I? Will it carry out for each value of j in that case? If if we do that?
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now, right? So I am just.
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, may I ask?
Yeah.
Sir, why we use in line number 3 len of L of 0 instead of len of L?
See, if it is a square matrix, it does not make any difference. Len of L or len of L of 0 is okay. But if it's not a square matrix, then that will be an issue, right? That is if it is a rectangular matrix, the number of rows will not be equal to the number of columns.
Yes.
What I'm saying is here let's say I'll remove this. I'll remove this too. Okay. Now we have just 2 rows, right? Now we have just 2 rows. And then for each row, for each row or like for each list, we have five elements. Okay. Now if I just call for this length of L, it will not print all the elements, right? I can just execute this. I'll show it to you. It just printed 1 2 1 2. Okay, but that's not the case now. It need to print 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Now it works.
But sir, it may be a length of L of I. We can say L of I.
What? Can you repeat?
In place of L of 0, say L of I, because we have to move from J of 0 to we have to take the length of whole the length of 0, no?
Sir, he is asking instead of L of 0, if we put L of I, means for each row, we return the number of items in nested one.
But I is just an element.
Exactly, and here the number is same for both.
No, here I is an integer, right?
I is an integer. I is just
It's an integer, and the value is same for both the list 0 and 1 as well. 5.
Yeah, yeah. So if you just do this L of I, it prints a list there. So basically,
Sir, can I ask a question? Sir, in this case, as you specified that there are 2 rows, right? And number of column is 1, right?
Number of columns is
5.
5.
Okay, number of columns is 5. So in that case,
2 row, 5 column.
2 rows and 5 columns. So in that case, in case to act complete, I need to also specify the column also this ij, like how I can print all the elements.
How you can print all the elements you're asking?
Yes.
So in this case, we can just run another loop for I in range of L, right? Length of L for j in range of L of 0.
Instead of L of 0, we can write L of I.
No, why you are specifying
L of I?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Both the same. Correct. Range of length of I, both the same, right? Because
agreed, sir, but sir, I would like to understand.
Sir, for outer loop, the value of I will change, and so it will change for the inner loop also, na?
See, the thing is, what you are not noticing is, we are talking about length of L of I, right? Since this is a matrix, the length is going to be same.
Okay.
Sir, suppose each matrix has different number of elements, then it will work for that, na?
See that what you're trying to say is this one. Paul, that's it. You're talking about this.
Yes, sir.
See, but this is not a matrix, right?
This is an array.
Yeah, like I would not even say that's an array.
Okay,
see, that's not a matrix.
In a matrix, it will have same number of values like in columns.
Yeah. Okay, so
number of columns.
Then there is no sense in writing L of I. If it will have the same number of elements, then we can write L of 0 or L of 1, whatever.
So that is why I told there's no difference.
For being a matrix, number of columns should be same, right, no, sir?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the number of elements in each row should be same, or like the number of elements in each column should be same.
Sir, I have a doubt in the printing of elements.
So we
just
can
like
exchange in case of in the I, we can write L of 0.
What here? Here?
Yes, here. L of 0 can we write, and in the lower portion we can write the same length of L.
See, you can write L of 0 here, and then write L of here, L length of L here, but then this needs to come as J, this needs to come as I.
Okay, the order need to be maintained.
Yeah, because see, if you
Sir, but
if you
now
want,
this will throw an
So
error
in this, so in
out
this
of
case,
the range.
range
it
of
will throw an
range.
index error.
So I think if you for J in range, length of array it will become 2, sir.
But
So
how will we
like,
write for I in range
length
L0?
of L is 2, right?
I'm accessing. See what? Okay, let's not just confuse ourselves. Okay.
So let us print one by one. Let us do it and print. It will be better.
This way, right? In this
Get
way,
the output. Yeah, get the output.
yeah,
Then we discuss.
yeah. Okay, so I just explain like what I'm doing here. I'm accessing each row. I'm accessing each row, and in the each row I'm accessing each element.
So I have a suggestion. So what if I do for I in L and for J in I print J? That will give me the same output, no?
That works. That works. So for I in L.
Yeah, and J in I.
Or what you can say is for row in L, for element in row.
Row. Print element. That's it.
Yeah,
Simple.
yeah, that's it. That works. Sorry, not the print row, print element. Okay. But again, what you need to understand here is in this case, you will not know the indices. Right? Let's say
I don't want to know the indices. I just want to know the elements in it. That's it.
What is row here? Row is a
Please execute this code.
If you just want to access elements, then that works. If you could see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What will I do with the index of the element, right? I can
Right
access
now-
the element in itself.
Yeah. So right now, since you're just printing it, you do not need the indices, but in some other cases you might need. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, right now you do not need indices.
Row and element will work as indices, right, sir?
What? Can you repeat?
Row and element will work as indices.
No, they do not work as indices. They just directly take the values. So this row, right? Initially row will be equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Suppose we want to use the indices, then we can use row or not.
No, see this. You cannot
Suppose we want to take multiplication of row into some lm, then we can multiply it directly here. Print row into
LM. If you want to print each element by 2, maybe then you will do print element LM times 2. That's
sir,
it.
please write row into lm. Then it will
see that
row into lm, row into lm, or lm into row.
Row into lm.
Into lm. It will work.
Okay, let's just check. Here what you're doing is you're multiplying the list by itself.
Yeah.
Row by row multiplication you're doing.
Yeah. No problem. It will work. Row will take as an integer number. It will work like that. Operations can be done on the row.
Row will not be taken as integer. If you observe here, you're printing too many lists here.
Yeah.
In this here we are multiplying each row. We are here multiplying the row by each element.
Yeah, by each element it will multiply. Yeah.
So see, basically what you're doing there is, okay, to explain it better. Okay.
Sir, like row and column. Basically,
let's just run this. Okay, let's just run this. Give me some time. Okay, let's just run this. So what it printed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So basically, what this row is taking is, it takes the first element in the list.
Yeah.
This is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Got it.
And similarly, the second case, it takes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Got
and
it.
After that, if you do this for element in row, now what happens is this element initially it will be equals to 1. After that, it will be equal to 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, since the row changes to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, now this element also will change to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, now you can print a row into L. Yeah.
I'll print LM comma row. Okay.
LM. Okay. First LM, then row.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it will print one by one.
If you see here, initially it has printed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because you are printing row, and after that we are printing LM comma row. So it has printed 1 comma. This is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and so on, and similarly for the remaining ones.
No, if you print element to row, sir, replace comma with product,
Sir,
sir.
we cannot see the thing is multiplying integer with the list that's like that multiplies itself.
Got it, sir.
By that many times.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I just have a question. Like for in the first run of the for row in L, then print row, right? Now in the first execution of the for loop, what is happening is that the row is the first element, and then in the second run the row is the second element, right?
Right.
So okay. I think I got my query. This is nested. The for loops are nested, so it's going to print like that. But if the second for loop was outside, probably what would have been printed, sir? If the second for loop was not nested within the first for loop.
If it were not listed, we can do for row in L.
If this is
and
not
for LM in row, we can do it like that.
Yeah. This just executing this, sir.
See, you can just try all this stuff by yourself. Okay. The thing is, why I'm not executing this, it creates lots of confusion as to what's happening. Okay. You can just
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, you can just execute this all by yourself and then see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, just one last question, sir. One last question. Initially, you took L as 1, 2, 3, 4. You just defined a 4x4 matrix, right? Right. Now, here we are finding the print to be like coming in brackets, right? What if I just want to print it in a matrix format like 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or whatever? How would I do that? If you can kindly show that execution at end or whenever you feel like so, that would be nice.
Yes, sir. Same question.
Like exactly like matrix, you might not, you will not have. Like how we have that 6 square bracket, right? That will not happen. The best thing that could happen is only this way.
Sir, I think we have question in practice assignment. It's like a practice assignment 7 or 8, printing a identity matrix.
There when they talked about printing, now they just mention like what's the format also. Let me show you. Before which one? Which question?
I think 7 or 8. No, I think, sir, it's 8. It may be. Yeah, sir.
So if you could observe here, we're just printing it separated by comma. That's it.
Sir, there's like a previous question we are discussing. We was discussing.
The previous question?
Yes, sir. On I think it was on ID.
I did not get you. ID. Okay.
I think you're talking about Gaussian elimination, right?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are just printing the elements separated by comma.
Yes, sir. If I want to the one
you
list
want to
in a
print it like
single,
that, you're asking?
Yes, sir. I want to print just like a first list in a first row and the separated by comma.
Okay. So for element in row of -1, I'm not including the last element. I'll explain why. Okay. Print element comma end equals to okay, and then here I'll print that
Is this only way to printing just such
What?
Sir, is it only this way? We can print only from this way, or we have any other way to printing just like?
You
This
might
will
be
not give me a list, na sir.
What?
No, I think that I know I can print like this, but is this only way to print
See,
such structure?
there is always different ways to do it in Python. Okay, you can just access that by list. Okay, and then like you can do it in like so many ways. What you can do is each time here you can create a string or something, and then you can keep on like adding elements to it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, there are like lots of ways to do it. I do not want to discuss all that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Even this was also my
So what is
question.
the
How
row
to
number,
write it?
row colon -1 in third line?
What?
Third line, you mentioned for notation row of colon -1. What does it indicate, sir?
So if you observe that strings, right, is kind of like index in like slicing the list actually. I want to include all the elements of row except the last element.
Okay, the colon is mandatory, right? Colon.
Huh?
The colon inside the bracket is mandatory, right?
Column inside the matrix is -3. I did not get you.
-1. So the row
Yeah,
number
yeah.
line
So
number 3.
like each time I take a row, right? This row will take this initial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and later it will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I'm doing is I'm slicing the list such that it won't include the last element of the list. That is, it won't include 5 and it won't include 10. It will just include 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So what if I want to make a list out of it? Then do I have to like create a new list
You
and
already
then
have a list, right? For row in like L, that is already a list.
yeah, maybe I want the output as a list. Okay, and then we can
output have a list. Output have a list. You just need to print that row. That's it.
sorry, I couldn't get you. You just to print the row.
Yeah. So that just prints it as a list, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Correct.
Okay.
Sir, this is colon -1. If you want to put the second last, you want to leave the second last. 4 and 9. 4 and 9. We do not want to print 4 and 9 only.
You do not want to print 4 and 9?
Yeah, then what should we take?
Then all you need to do is you just need to remove that, right?
Okay. We have to remove.
Yeah.
We cannot manipulate -1. -2 will what it will do? It will do like that.
What?
-2. Suppose we put the same what you have written, then it will leave 4 and 9.
-2. Yeah. So it will leave this 4 and 5. It will leave 4 and 5, 9 and 10. Okay. And since I'm printing that
okay.
last element,
it will leave 4 and 5, 9 and 10 both. Okay, right. Okay.
What I'm doing here.
Print.
Okay. So it should be row. Sorry.
Row.
Okay. Now it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. I eliminated that 5 and 10. Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
This is just manipulation.
Sir, why did you took that out of the loop?
This one?
Yes, sir.
So if I do not have this, right, you'll have that extra comma at the end. So
can you explain how it is working?
Do you know this end thing? End equals to comma.
Yeah.
That thing, you know, right? So once it prints, it ends with the comma. So no matter what this element prints, it ends with comma.
And then next null starts after that.
Right. So
can we put that if it is the last element, then print and end equals to.
You could do that. Yeah, like here you could run a. Here you could run a. But for that, right? you need to have access to the index. How do you know that it is a last element? You need to have access to the index, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in that case, you cannot use this for element row. You cannot use that. If you want to use that if condition. Okay. Am I making sense?
Yes, so we have just skipped this last element here, and just to omit this comma, we have printed that outside of the loop.
Yeah. So we just printed the last element of the row outside of the list.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. And moreover here, I did not mention end equals to so and so, because by default the end is the new line, so that the elements of an extra row, it will automatically come in new line. Okay.
Yes, I got it, sir.
Okay. So shall we discuss PPS?
Sir, I have a question, not regarding this matrix, but it's a different one. It's a program I'm trying to solve. It's something I came up with myself. So yeah, so let's consider 4 lists, sir, A, B, C, D, and list A is
list A is
list A is numbers from 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. List B is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. List C is 11 to 15, and list D is 16 to 20. So suppose we make another list called some final list, which has only 4 elements in it. Okay, and let's say that we are not inputting it, some other user is inputting it. We want to write a program such that now this final list we have got, right? Each element of the list is how do I say this? There are 4 elements in final list. So one element of the final list is an element of list A, and another element is an element of list B, another element is an element of list C, and another element is an element of list D. This is what we want to check.
So what is the index? Which index elements we need to take from list A, list B, list C?
No, I mean, so A is a list containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B contains 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. C contains 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And D contains 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
And now let's say there's a final list. Now suppose the user inputs these numbers in the list, that is 3, 7, 12, and 17. In this case, we know that 3 is an element which is there in list A, and 7 is an element which is there in list B, and this 12 is an element which is there in list C, and some 18 is an element which is there in list D. Only when all these conditions are satisfied, let's say we increment some variable which is initially set to 0.
You can do that, right? Just by checking the conditions, whatever conditions you told, right?
Yeah.
Based on having some.
No, but it's not in some order, sir. Like what I'm trying to say.
Sure. Like even that can be done. So that's not a problem. Having it as like 3, 6, 12, 20, or like 23, 7 something, or like that also can be done. Okay. So
only condition is that each element should be from different list.
Right. So that can be done. That can be done. But so one thing we can do is try it out for yourself and like post it in discourse. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be answering it from there. Okay.
Great, sir. I did it with if conditions, but I mean the if else statements, the else if statements are like 24 lines, sir. So 24 conditions I had to mention there.
No, you can loop through the matrix and check inside that loop that if the first element is this.
Okay.
Something like that, like increment the variable or whatever you want to do. Like,
but
inside
you are forgetting this.
One thing. Okay. See, let's just stop the discussion here. You can do it. You can do it. Okay.
I'll post it in
yeah,
Discord.
just post it in Discord. Okay. And like let's not like one thing. Let's not try to make it like far more stretched. Okay.
Got it.
It's just a first
Yes,
like
sir.
the first discussion regarding week 4. Okay. Still have lots of time. The first thing for the other people, let's just discuss the basic concepts. Okay. And if you have doubts regarding the basic concepts, you can like discuss. The other ones are challenging ones or the problems which you thought that we like which strike your mind, right? You can just post it in discourse. Or else if you have time, then we can discuss that. Okay.
Fine, sir. Thank
Got
you.
it, sir. Thank you.
I've attached actually
Sir,
also.
can you take the later half of
Later
the
half?
instead of
What later half? Okay, later half UPS.
No, sir, I have doubt in this.
Okay.
instead
Yeah,
of starting from the first
okay, so the first one is okay, right? Accept the integer and then print the first list
Sir,
of.
I wrote a code, but I don't know what's the error in my code. So can I post it in chat box and you can tell what's the error?
What?
Like I've coded this, but answer is not coming. It has a logical error. So what's the error? I'm not able to find.
You have posted that.
Okay, wait, I'm posting it in chat box.
Okay. So this one, right? You need to accept the input. This is how you accept the input, right? Integer. Okay. And after that, what do? We need to create a list of first and positive integers, right? So let's just create a list. Okay. And then we loop it and then add it. For I in range of 1 comma n plus 1 L dot append I. So this append is something. This append is like adding an element at the back of a list, right? Each time, let's say the list has 5 elements. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Now I want to add another element 6. So all I need to do is L dot append of 6, and then the sixth the element 6 it will be appearing at the back of the list. Okay, like that is it will be added at the end to the list. Okay, is this clear what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. It is clear.
Okay.
So most of the time we will take accept integer n as input. Suppose we don't write it, then what will matter? Any number we can take because we are already converting the number into the integer. Suppose the question is given accept a positive integer n. There is no need to convert it into integer. In the question, let us correct. No, there is no integer. Then still we will get the same answer.
If there is no integer,
yeah,
like int you're talking about this
no,
one?
No. We are converting everything into the integer. So why it is everywhere it is required except a positive integer n. If we have the condition that we will accept only integers, then why it is required to convert the number into an integer?
See, the thing is, the input will always be a string, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be converting that to an integer, right?
No, suppose we string not okay.
The input will always be in the format of string, okay?
Okay, yeah. Entry will always okay. 1 2 3 4 we enter. That is that is not a number. But if you put 25, then it is not a number. It is a string.
See, no matter what you input,
suppose sir integer we don't write input integer and we do not convert it n is equal to input and
then
we enter
that will be a string.
no we enter 25 suppose
Yeah, right. So it will be a string.
Okay, it will be a string. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have to convert every time. You have to convert.
Yeah.
If you want, if you want to make an operation, then we have to put integer, right?
Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have posted my code in the chat box. Can you please check it out?
Okay, I'm not able to see a code. Okay. I saw that. You converted that to num equals str of input. See, by default the input is string itself. You need not convert that to str. You should be converting that to integer. Okay, and moreover, that length of num does not work. Okay, the length of num does not work. So what you need to do is you need to convert that to an integer, and then for I in range of length of you can just write for I in range of num L equals to L plus int of. You can just type it as like num equals to int of input for I in range of num L equals to L plus that brackets thing which you put, right, and then like you just directly have it as like I. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sir, I have a GRPA doubt. Last week's GRPA solution code.
Okay.
Can I ask it now? GRPA 5 actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Week 3 GRPA 5. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a moment. It's getting over.
No problem, sir. Yeah, if you just check the solution code once.
You want me to check the solution code?
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah.
Check the solution code once. Yeah. On line 6, it is written that it is enough. It is enough if you loop through the first 5 digits, right? I couldn't get this part actually. Why is it enough? How is it enough actually?
See, that is because
बताओ क्या कर रहे थे तुम नेट खत्म हो गया
Mute everyone.
Yes sir please हमारा ठीक हो गया है ऑलमोस्ट मेरा ठीक हो गया ऑलमोस्ट थोड़ा मोड़ा ही रह गया आज पिएंगे तो खत्म
trying to mute. Okay. Yeah. So the reason is okay, num of 0 in 6, 7, 8, 9. Digit index. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me just check this. I'll just check it with the code by running it in the VS Code. let me just give the number as 90. Yeah, no. We need to be checking the all the digits, not just the first 5 digits. Okay. So that part of the solution is not correct. Okay. Okay. Now I think you'll be able to unmute yourself.
So actually, also
Sir, I don't think so there is any need for, because sir, first 5, if you check the digits, sir, from the
Exactly.
6th digit, you won't find any consecutive number of digits which have the, I mean, same.
Why?
7 times you.
Yeah, right. So see, but the thing is, the remaining digits, it should be having a numbers, right? Accept a phone. Okay. So if it is actually a phone number, right? Then we need not check for the remaining digits.
We are anyway checking the
Okay,
count, na? So it will be clear there itself. in
Yeah.
the
So
count itself.
if the given input is a number, then we need not run for the remaining ones. Okay. If you run the loop until the first five indices,
No,
right?
sir. I would like to point out that only if you check that if the number is broken into 2 parts, not consecutively repeating.
Sir, will we
then
zoom the code?
why do you have to
Not visible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
please. Yeah, okay, sir. Now it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Okay, visible. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So what's the other person is asking doubt?
Yeah. So what I was saying, I got that part. Why is it running from 0 to 5? To check for the only 5 times, and it is expecting that rest of the loop will, if rest of the 5 are the similar, and if I get one more in the first 5, then I don't have to check for the rest of the 5, right? That is the logic behind it. But where it will fail is if the number is broken into 2 parts, right? For example, 9, then if I give like 2 or 3 8s, and then some other digits are repeating, and then 8 is again repeating,
No,
then maybe
that is valid. That is valid. Right. See, what you can do
this
is
program will
it up
still
to more than 5 times consecutively, right?
yeah, but it will fail the third part. No digit should appear more than 7 times in the number.
So that you'll be checking now. See, the thing is, if a digit occurred for more than 7 times, right? It will definitely
Occur in the first 5.
in the
Yeah,
first
of
five, right?
course.
So we can just check for the count there, and if the count is greater than 7, we'll make this valid as false, right? Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so let's move on to big 4. And we are done with PPA 1. Let's move on to PPA 2.
So I have doubt in PPA 2.
Okay. Yeah.
So can I copy my code in chat box?
Right. What you can do is you can just share a screen. That's okay. You want to share a screen?
So I can copy in the chat box. If it is not fine, then I can also share my screen.
Yeah. Please paste it in chat box.
Okay.
See here all you need to do is each time.
Solution code is also visible, sir.
No, the solution code is not visible, right?
Okay. No, earlier weeks it will be visible.
Yeah, for the graded, if the deadline is completed, then the solution code will be visible.
No, for graded not. From practice assignments, others are visible. Solution codes are visible.
No. For the practice assignment, it won't be visible.
Okay.
So n equals to int of input. This is okay. P equals to str of input. So one thing I want to say is, input is by default string. You need not convert that to string directly. I'm not saying that this code is wrong. The second line is wrong, but you need not do it. P is already
input is not always string. Input is only string if the entered value is a string. If you enter a input any integer, the value will take as integer only.
No,
See,
it doesn't. It
input
takes
is,
string.
input is by default.
It
will be taken as a string only.
Input is by default string. Okay. No matter what the value is, even if the string is like 25 also, it won't be converted that to integer. You need to explicitly convert that to integer by doing this int of input. Okay. Okay, so L equals to this one, while length of L is less than n, L dot append of P equals to share of input. Okay, length of L equals to n and L. Okay, so you show this. Yeah.
So my code is showing error.
Yeah, that is because if you see here, the line number 7 should be double equal, right? You are checking for the equality, right? The line number 7. Okay, that's just a minor mistake. Let's run the code.
Sir, please zoom in the code, which is not visible.
What?
Zoom the code. Zoom the code.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Sir, I think how can we like compare the length of L with N? Is it okay, sir?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. It is okay, right? So the n is nothing but the length of L, right? So we keep on appending the elements until that length is equals to length of L is equals to n.
Okay, sir. Okay, nice.
Okay, like this is not the ideal way, but this is like okay.
Sir, just remove the extra bracket in P.
Sorry, line 4, remove the parenthesis.
That is okay, right? Yeah. Okay. So, and also the other person you are accepting an extra input. Okay, that is why I made this small change. Okay, instead of accepting the input before starting my loop, I accepted input once I'm in the while loop. Okay.
Okay, sir. So, but what if I will take it in the second line before this empty list?
This one?
No, sir. P equals to input should be in the second line before this empty list.
Yeah, before empty list or after empty list, this is like this.
So why it's showing error here?
Yeah. Okay, I'll explain that. So what you're doing is you're doing this, right? You're doing this, right? So
yes, sir. Yes.
Initially, let's say the n equals to 4, and after that you'll accept one more input, right?
Yes, sir.
Then length equals 0, you'll append that value. Now length equals to 1, you'll accept another input. So now we're accepting second input. Now the length equals to 1, right? You'll be appending that value. Now the length of L equals to 2, you'll accept the third input.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
We'll accept third input and you'll append that. Okay. Now the length of L equals to 3, and you'll accept the fourth input. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And after that, since the length of L is 3 only, it will come again here. It will append that fourth value, and after that it accepts one more value.
Yeah.
It is accepting one more value. Okay.
Yes,
because of that, you're getting an error. It's like you are accepting one more value which is not given by the user.
So suppose we are taking for length of L is 3. We have executed the code up to length of L is 3. Then length of L is 3 and it is less than n. So we are appending the fourth value here. L dot append will append the fourth value.
Less than n minus 1?
No, sir. When it is taken as n, length of L is less than n. Then if length of L is 3, then 3 is less than 4. So we'll append the fourth value in this L.
What? It will append fourth value in the list.
So the length of L is 3. 3 means 3 is less than 4.
Right.
So it will append the fourth value, no? It will
Right,
append
right.
it will append the fourth value, and then then the length of L will become 4.
4, yeah.
Now it will then check for the while loop. Length of L is 4, which is
no,
not
see,
less than
it
4.
accepts the input, right? It accepts the input before going to that while loop again, no?
Okay.
Before checking for this condition.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay. So this will not be here. After this L append, it should be before this.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this should be before, and it also means that you should remove it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it will work. Can you test in here?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, also in PPA 4.
Yeah, we'll go there. We'll go there.
Okay,
let's
okay,
check PPA 3 and then we'll go there.
Sir, for PPA 3, I am getting all public test case passed, but for private test still only 2 is passed.
What? For PPA 3?
For PPA 3, my code passes the public test case, all of them, but for private test case, only 2 is passed.
Okay, we'll check that. Okay.
I've sent the code in the chat box.
Yeah, okay. So accept a sequence of comma separated integers, right, as input, and we need to print the maximum value, right, in the sequence as output, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So how do you convert this sequence of comma separated values into list? You just split it based on comma. Okay, as mentioned here, right? So you could just copy this. Just write it. We have num equals to input, and then you can create the list by using this num dot split based on comma. Okay, based on comma.
Can we take a list as an input instead of a string?
You want to do this?
Yes.
No. Okay. How does it know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a list? No, right? So yeah, you need to do it in this way.
What is the syntax of this splits?
Yeah, so the split is, it basically has a string. The split takes a string value. Right now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a string, right?
Okay.
So it splits into a list based on whichever value you give. Right now you give the value as comma, right? So based on this comma value, it separates the string into a list. So basically this 1 will be a first element, and this 2 will be a second element, 3 will be third element, 4 will be fourth element, 5 will be fifth element.
Suppose we enter input not I think number, India, then it will it will be separated by comma.
Yeah, if you have it like I comma, if you have it like this.
Suppose put India. Input India.
If you have it like this, then yeah, you need to have it like this. Okay.
No, L. Suppose we do not write S is equal to that, and we put num is equal to input. We input India, INDIA.
Yeah.
Directly, and L is equal to num dot split, comma. Then it will put it will give list like this: LINDIA, comma separated. So, comma separated value will be printed. Is it so?
See, what you're saying is
we input num is equal to
what? Yeah.
Num is equal to input
Okay.
Num is equal to input.
You're just talking about India, right? Why don't you just that string? Yeah. What is
India.
it? India?
Yeah, India.
I comma n comma d comma that one only, right?
Yeah. Not comma, sir. India, only India.
See, if it does not have comma, then it won't be split into list.
Okay.
It needs to have that separator.
Okay.
Like, see, it needs to be splitting into a list based on some particular value, right?
Okay.
Okay.
We have to separate it by the comma to make it in a list.
Yeah.
Is it? We have to separate it by the comma to make it as a list. For example, list I comma n comma d in a list.
Right. So if you have it like separated by space now, then you can do this. L equals to num dot split based on space.
Okay.
Okay.
So this whole will become list now.
Yeah.
What it will print, sir?
See, you can just check that out. So it will just print a list where the first element is I.
No. Suppose you print L. We print L. Then you print I comma n comma d like that.
See, it will print that just as a list. How does the list get printed? So the first element will be I,
comma n.
Yeah.
So this
usually
split operator is changing string to a list.
Okay.
So what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So can you explain this once more?
Split method?
Yes, sir.
So the split method is there in the lectures, right? Haven't you watched the lectures? No.
So some lectures are remaining.
Okay.
In lecture is not there.
Split I have not gone through in the lectures.
Okay. So the split method, it works by when you give a space, right? When you give a space, it checks for space, and whenever it finds a space, then it splits that into the two parts. So let's say I have this I, right? I after that I have space, right? So this I will become the first element, and this entire thing will become the next one. Okay.
So sir, it skips the space in between.
Yeah. So it finds that space, and based on that, it splits that into individual elements of a list. Okay.
So the space in the string doesn't count as any part of the index.
The space in a string will be counted as an index, right?
But it is skipping this space in between.
Yeah. So that is skipping space because it will just in the place of space, right? It will convert that to a list. See, whatever separator you are giving, that will be eliminated in the list value. The separator won't be there. That space won't be there in the list. But in the string, the separator is the space is there.
Okay, so if we'll print L of 2, then what it will print?
L of 2, it will print D value.
Okay, it will skip all the spaces in between.
Yeah. So yeah, right. Correct.
So in the execution process, it will skip all the spaces in between, but generally it has the spaces in the string. But when we execute the code using this kind of thing, L equals to num dot split, it will skip the thing which is in the single code.
Sir, may I answer?
Yeah, correct. So basically it looks for this particular thing, and whenever it finds that, it skips that part, and then the before part it will be appended to it will be appended as an element. Okay.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, may I answer, please?
Yes.
Just to update on this, the same query. Actually, whatever the character we use as a splitter in the as an argument in the split function, that character eliminated from that string, and the string splitted using that character into multiple ways, right?
Yeah.
Now
The
there was
multiple elements of list.
Is it so?
Yeah, you may use it over using n over.
Suppose we put I A N A D A I A A, and we split based on the A. small a.
It goes,
Then
it works the same.
it will work. It will work. Okay, got it.
It works the same.
Yeah, this is the sentence. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Sumit.
So-
Thank you,
so-
Sumit.
and-
It's very nice explanation to understand. Thank you
let's
very
say
much.
let's say I have it like this.
Got it.
India is something like great or something. And then like let's say, okay, or let's have this. Okay.
Yeah, and sir, one more query was there from Behut itself, that if we just write the India without any spaces, so can't we convert into a list? So we can convert it into a list, but not using the split method. We can directly pass the list function and just pass the num inside it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
My question was that, but at that time it was not resolved. Right now, so I'm not. Suppose we input India without any space. I want to convert I, n, d,
yes,
I.
we may do it. We may do it.
Yeah.
Just
how to do
we can do it. We can do it.
Yes, India, and we will just pass it into a list. L equals to list.
Num you're saying?
List
of num, yeah. So
list of num.
List of num can be done. Yeah, this can be done.
So this is how we can convert it into a list.
Okay.
Now
It will print I, n, d, I, a, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay. Every string will be converted into list separated by a comma, right?
Right.
Each individual character will be the element of a list. So let's say you have a space here.
Okay.
Now one element will be space.
Yes.
Okay. So I just print it out for clarity purposes.
So split function will not recognize if it's a integer or a string, right? It will take everything as like it will lose that information, right?
The split works only for
like it's a string.
Only for string. It won't work for integers.
See, what I'm asking is probably there's a mixed number like 21F300, right? And I want 21 as 2 as a digit, not as a string. Then that is not possible.
No, that cannot be done. So what you need to do is first you need to split it, and then you need to convert that to an integer.
Yeah, but I don't know now which one is integer.
Then
you can check it now, is alpha or not,
yeah, there are many methods of string which you can use, that is alpha, is numeric. So you can iterate one by one character and check if it is an integer or what.
Once I have it as a list, every element is a string.
Yes.
Yeah.
So every element is a string, but you can operate the string methods of it, right? That if it is an integer, if it is numeric, if it is alphabet or what, because in string itself, that string function will read it out and let you know that if it is a numeric or what.
Correct.
I have a question. If the user gives, say, inputs of 5 different integers with separated by commas, can we catch that using the split function? And will that be stored within the list as an integer, as integers, not as strings?
No, it won't be.
No. It will be stored as an string only, but later on you may convert it into an integer.
Since you know that whatever user entered, right? You know that it's already an integer, right? So we know that whatever comma separated values we have as a list, that can be directly converted to string. So what you can do is, let's say we have this.
Is it because input always takes it as strings? Is that why?
Yeah, the input is always a string. Like I'm saying this for the nth time.
Nothing is integer. Nothing is stored as integer.
Yeah.
We have to convert it as an integer, right?
Right.
Yeah, got it.
So how does it know? It doesn't know, right? That it is an integer. So what you can do is, for I in range of.
Sir, can you zoom a bit, please? Can you zoom it a bit, please, sir?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
For I in range of length of L, what you can do is.
Excuse
L
me,
of
sir.
I. Yeah.
So when we were using this num.split function in the very first example you have taken, like India, the gaps were skipped and each element like I and N, D, I, A, each element was written in single quote.
Yeah, the single quote. Yeah.
But sir, here it is not written as single quote. Suppose we are taking n equals to input and we are we are printing one string and we are applying this num dot split function into that, then it would not print like one and in single quote 1, single quote 2, single quote 3. It will print like as it is shown here, num equals to 1
No,
comma 2
no,
comma
no,
3.
no. We can just check it. Okay. So it will just print like the same way only. What you have seen previously, it will print the same way. Okay, but before going there, okay, we'll check that also. And as I was talking now, since we know that this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are integers, we can convert each element in a string, each element in the list to an integer by using this. For I in range of length of L of I equals int of L of I. So basically, we're converting the string to an integer and then storing it in the same list at the same index. Okay.
I think
You
better
can
will be to
run
check
this
for.
print L.
Huh? Yeah. So I will show you the difference between both. Okay.
I think the better will be what Sumit proposed actually, to check for is alpha, right? If it's not alpha, then
Yeah,
it's
right. We can check that, but the thing is, in our particular case, we will not check it because it's already an integer. Okay.
Sir, we have seen input work with int function, and we have seen input work with split function. Like, can't those three be combined?
Yeah, it can be combined. You can just directly do it as like input dot split of comma. Okay. If you could see
So
here,
we are converting here this 1 into integer. Now it's taking non-string values. It is written in the second part. It is written like integer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you could see the expected output here, you should print that as 5. So basically, you should print that as an integer itself. So
yes,
once you have converted each element to a list, right? So you need to check for the largest value there. Okay.
Sir.
So as explained, right, by the other person, what can be done is, instead of doing this, input is a string, so we can just directly convert that to a list by doing this. Okay. Okay, this one. Let's just execute it to see what I'm telling about. Okay, we got the same output here because the input itself is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, got the same output. And for the second case, since input is 10, 30, 20, 50 and so on, the output is like this. Okay. Okay, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is fine.
Okay, so
directly input will be taken here. Input dot split comma, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So let's just look at this one question, and after that we'll close the session. Okay.
Sir, I have doubt in this question. Can I paste it into the chat box, my code?
Let's just discuss the question first, and after that you can paste it in chat box.
Okay.
So there is this prefix code. What you need to be doing is, a list of words is already given to as a part of prefix. Print the longest word in the list. So basically here we already know that L is a list. Okay. So all you need to do is you need to print the longest word, right? Okay. So how do you know the longest word? Maybe you create a word called longest word or something, or like longest equals to something like this, and you loop through the elements of the list, and then if that element is greater than longest.
What's the question, sir? Please once again. Yeah.
So the question is, you have a list. Okay. You have a list of words. You need to print the longest word in the list. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So basically, you need to check for the length of each element, and based on that, whichever element has the longest now, you need to just print that element.
Okay.
Correct. So yeah, the other person, what's your? You said that you have some doubt, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's your doubt?
Sir, I have done the code. I've written a piece of code for this, but my code is not working. Can you tell me where I'm mistaken?
Have you pasted that code in chat box?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, L equals to input dot spread, M equals to 0. Okay, the problem is with that M equals to 0. And this L equals input dot spread is not required, as it is already done there. L is already defined there in the first line, so we need not do it. The other one is
So may I ask a question?
yeah, here they're like before you go ahead, let me just explain this problem. Okay, here there are like few issues. One is M equals to 0 is okay. Then what about word? You need to have a variable to store the word, right? Okay. So for I in range of length of L of L, okay. Length of L of I is greater than M, then M equals to M. Initially M is an integer, right? Now this, but L of I is not an integer. No?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
you need to do is, this should be length of L of I. Okay. And word should be equals to L of I.
L of I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can print this word.
Okay,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
Similar code I pasted in chat box as well. You may
Yeah,
refer it.
Sumit. Yeah, Sumit has pasted the same thing.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So yeah. Are there like any other questions on this? So one thing I want to say is, so in this particular, like taking this as an example, right? So observe like whatever variable you are taking, right? In this particular case, so Shrishti, what you have done is you have defined this as an integer, okay, which is totally fine, okay, because you're checking for the length of the string, and then until here you're done correctly, and after that what you have done is, if this is the case, you have equated M equals to L of I, okay.
Yes,
M
sir.
equals to L of I, and after that when you come back again, now length of L of I is greater than L of I. Length of L of I will be an integer, and this M will be an string, because you have assigned a string here, right?
Yes, sir.
And that will lead to an error. Okay,
Yes, sir.
comparison
Sir,
error.
I understand here M is equals to 0. Here M is an integer and L of I is a string. Both can't be equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay.
So it should be this one. Okay.
Yes, sir, I
Like
understood. This.
mentioned in the line number 7, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
One more mistake over there in your code system is that you immediately print M after comparing it and assigning it, right? But you need to print M after completing the whole for loop, right? And you need to assign another variable in which you will assign that word, because in one variable you will assign the length and in another variable you will assign the word, right? But you are considering only one variable over here.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
The alternative solution for this is, you need not have that length thing. Okay. What you can do is, if length of L of I is greater than length of word, okay, word equals to L of I. Okay, this works. All right.
Yeah.
This works. So basically, word is a string. Initially it is an empty string. Okay, and whenever we find the word which is longer than this particular word, right? We change that particular word to the longest word. Okay, and once we come out of the loop, we know that whatever value this word holds, that is the longest now. Okay, is this clear?
Sir, suppose if the two words are there of the same length, then what will happen?
So if two words are there of the same length, based on what code you have written, right?
Okay.
Since you mentioned that it should be greater, right? Let's say.
Then only one word will be printed.
Yeah. So basically, the first word will be printed. The first longest word will be printed.
First word.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you put it equal to, then it will, both word will be printed.
No. Then it will print the last word.
Okay, last word. How to print the both words?
Yeah. If you want to print the both words, then you need to create another list. Long list or something.
Yeah.
There is a question.
Always list is there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then
Long
like
list. Append.
If it is greater, what you need to do is
no. If it is equal, then append.
If it is equal, then append. What if it is greater? If it is greater, you should be having it like this, right?
Long list.
Okay.
Got it, sir.
Okay, Elif length of is this graded? No, right?
Good one.
What you are asking is not a graded problem, no?
Right.
Length of L of I is equals to
Length of word, sir. Sorry.
Okay.
Length.
We just have it like word equals to
Word is equal to something. Yeah.
Okay, length of word.
Length of.
Then long list.
Length of word is equal to li.
Append L of I. Okay.
Long list. Yeah. Append long list with li.
Yeah.
Long list will be appended with the li. Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sir, I did not.
Then then we have to print long list, no, sir?
Yeah. We need to print the long list.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Sir, can you please explain that first if condition?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. The first if condition.
Yeah. Please.
So okay, let's say I have L equals to cat, dog, donkey or something. Okay. And then let me have giraffe. Okay. So initially word equals to this one, right? In the first iteration, word will be equals to cat. Correct? Since length of L of I is greater than length of word, right?
Yes. Got that.
Yes, sir.
Word will be equals to cat, right? Sorry. So this word should be equals to cat. Initially, long list is empty. What you do is you just append that. You just append the new longest word. Okay. New longest word. Okay. Initially, it will be cat, and in the second iteration, since the length
For I
of
equal to 0, it will be cat.
Huh?
I equal to 0, it will be cat.
Yeah, I equal to 0, it will be cat, and I equals to 1 is dog, right? So since the length of cat equals to length of word, so this long list will become cat and dog. Okay. In the third iteration, what happens is we'll have donkey. Okay. Length of donkey is greater than length of cat, right?
Yes.
Right. So in this particular case, we cannot append donkey to cat and dog. We need to create a new list which has only donkey, because that is the new longest word, which has the new longest length. Right? Are you kidding? Are you following?
Yeah, sir.
Just the
Another
last part once again, please. Like once it goes to the word donkey, it's larger than the word cat, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot append, and since it's greater, the long list will be equal to L. Now I is what? Like I is 2 for donkey, right?
Yeah.
So don't store the word donkey.
Yeah. So yeah, you need to store the word donkey. That too, the long list should have only donkey. Okay. So it should have only that
equal words. It will have equal length of words.
Yeah. So you should be creating a long list which is equals to only donkey.
Sir, we can write it equal list, and then long list will be different. It is equal list. which is having equal length.
Okay, you want to have equal
Yeah,
list?
it will have equal list.
May I answer, sir?
Yeah.
See
Please,
that kind of like complicates. Okay, you can just try it out.
okay, we will practice it, sir. It will work. No problem.
Yeah.
It is nothing. I think complicated.
Yeah. Nothing
May I,
complicated.
may I answer, sir, that doubt if you allow?
You can. Don't answer. You will do it. you are smart.
Can you zoom a bit?
Yeah. See, Anirban, your doubt was like that whenever we reach up to the donkey. Okay, so there were you were confused like how are we assigning that donkey to that list, right? So if you see that part in the if statement, that we are creating a list named as a long list with a single item over there. Okay, so we are assigning that list over there. We are not appending. Okay, so whenever you will get the longest word after getting the 2 or 3 same length of word, which is now 2 or 3 items in a long list. If you get a longer word, then the if statement will fulfill and you will reassign the whole list again with the new longest word over there.
You are right.
Okay, so
Absolutely
that's how
right.
you will get again the longest word itself in that list. And now after further loop, if you get the same length of word again, then the same length of word will append over there going into the elif part. But again after that, if you will get the more length word, then it will reassign itself and the list will have only the single word of the maximum length only.
Yeah, correct. You are absolutely right. This is the logic. But we have to just practice it so that we can be good one.
As I told, right? Having logic is like really important. Writing code, once you have the logic, you can write the code. Okay, if you just know the syntax, you can write the code.
Absolutely right, sir. You are absolutely right.
Okay, so
we are lagging behind
I
due
have
to the
doubt
statistics
in
also.
PPA3.
What?
No, sir. Yeah, I have some doubt in PPA3. My code is passing only 3 private cases. Can you please check it?
Yeah. So okay. So do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, sure. I can share it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just answer your question and after that we'll close the session. Yeah, you can share your screen. Pranab, you'll be able to share your screen now.
Pranav, you might be getting your 3 test cases passed and 2 failed, right?
Yes, yeah.
So you just need to initiate that max with the -1 because you are taking it as 0. So there might be possible that some list is getting 0 as a maximum.
Single element means single
element over there.
Okay.
Right.
That might be the case. Yeah.
Just initiate it with -1 and try again, please.
Okay. So can you just go to the question statement?
Sir, the PPA3.
See, they're just saying accept a sequence of comma separated integers, right?
Yeah.
Can you just go there? Go to doc. Accept a sequence of comma separated integers, right? They did not mention positive or negative. Okay. Yes. It should not even be -1. What you can do is you can have it like
no, sir, he's talking about, I think, the element, the list can have the 0 as a input, I mean.
Yeah, so no, can you just submit it? Can you try submitting?
Yes, so now it is passing all the test cases. Before it was like only 3 private cases were passed.
See, instead of -1 now, that's not the proper way. What you can have is you can have int of L of 0.
So we can give 0 also, right?
Int of no, like see, I'll explain why. But have it like int of L of 0.
Yeah, that will be the much appropriate. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
okay. This is good. This is good.
See, this is because let's say you have elements -1, -2, -3, -4, not -1, -10, -20, -30, -40, -50. then the maximum element is -10, right? But according to your previous code, it won't print -10. It will print only -1. Okay.
Okay, sir. Now I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, thanks everyone. You can stop
Thank
here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
So nice of
thank
you.
you, sir.
Sumit, thank you, Sumit, very much.
Yep, you're welcome. Well.
Yeah.
So
you have a good
Thank you,
idea.
sir.
Very good concept of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Sumit. Okay. So thanks everyone. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. Yeah.